Mute is one of the strongest defenders in the game, yet so many people are still playing him wrong, which is why I'm here today to show you exactly how you should start playing Mute so that you can win way more on your defense rounds. First things first, run the shotgun, okay? Shotgun's good for a plethora of reasons. First one is a sight setup. Obviously, you can set up a sight, which is optimal. Then you can have a good sight setup and flow, and, you know, you could do things like kill the other team a lot easier if you have the right sight setup. But it also allows you to play vertically. So there's a lot of situations where you can open holes, shotgun them in the top of the head when they walk through the doorway without droning it or without droning the roof. And you can get a lot of free kills that way too. So run the shotgun because you also have a fantastic secondary, which is the SMG. I run the muzzle brake on this. You can run flash hider and muzzle brake. Anything else, I think it's a scam. But I like the muzzle brake on this. But that's only the start. That's only the loadout. How do we actually play Mute? Where do we place the jammers? Why do we do it? And yeah, if we can understand those things, we can be good on any map, any site with Mute, because this is an operator who is good literally all the time. First things first, a lot of people putting Mute jammers down like this. Don't do that. That is bad. That is wrong. Why is this bad? Why is it wrong? Well, you see that ring? That means they can thermite right here. They can thermite right here. Or, if it's an outside wall like this, they can get up on this rappel and thermite the top of the wall to open it, or ace the top of the wall, throw a grenade in, whatever. It's just not a good Mute jammer. It doesn't waste a lot of time. It's very easy to avoid, and there's much better placements that we can be doing. Like this one, because this one blocks the drone hole. Now, why do I put it on this side of the drone hole instead of the other side? Very good question. Well, if it's on this side, they can shoot it from the server window. So keep in mind where it can actually be shot from. Now they can no longer drone the drone hole, so if you have a bandit, a Cade, you know, and they're holding this wall, all of a sudden they can't drone it. Another great spot for Mute jammers is at the top of staircases. Not right at the top, because then, again, they could just shoot it from the bottom of the stairs. You know, you don't want them to be able to see it from down here, right? Gone. Not good. So back it up a little bit. You can see the radius. That way, when their drone actually drives up a staircase, you know, they just can't get past it. They're going to drive it up. It's going to get muted. And all of a sudden, they've lost their drones. They're not able to drone this area anymore. And you see, this is the two places drones can come from. That's it, outside of the main breach. So now you only have to watch the main breach for drones once they open it up. Other than that, they can't get the information. You can play here with a shotgun, and when they walk up into your angle, you are winning that fight 9 out of 10 times just because you have the better close range weapon. Part of the reason why the shotgun is so good with Mute's kit. Now, where else should you be putting Mute jammers? On this site specifically, you could do on top rafters. The main thing is staircases, drone holes, and single doorways that they can drone through. You want to just stop any information from coming through. The bad place to put Mute jammers is on those outside walls and on areas where they can drone from a ton of different ways. So let's say we're playing CC, and we have all these different holes over here or something. They could drone main stairs. They could drone from this lodgy door, or sorry, not lodgy door, the jacuzzi balcony. They could drone from the windows, let's say, if they're playing there, lodgy. So there's not a lot of spots we can put Mute jammers to stop all these entrances besides this door, right? This is the common spot where all the drones feed into. So putting a Mute jammer either A, right in front of it. This isn't the most ideal. Why is this not the most ideal? They can shoot from the window. But if we put it on this side, the range is actually not big enough to reach the other far side of the door. So this is a great jammer in the sense it's very well hidden and hard to shoot. Oh, and you know what? It actually does go all the way. I actually thought the radius wouldn't be big enough, but maybe it's actually changed for CJAX. Maybe they made it slightly bigger. That would be insane, but okay, so that stops the drones. They could technically vault the drone over the radius if they are really, really smart. Most people won't do that. They'll just drive the drone straight in and lose it. And when they actually walk up to the door to shoot this Mute jammer, they're actually not going to be able to. So they have to actually go all the way in to shoot the Mute jammer and actually use their drone again, or pick their drone up, which is why it's perfect to stand and play on the Mute jammer. I cannot get droned if this hole is not here, right? If you don't open this hole in the wall, this is the perfect spot to play at the start of the round. I'll see a lot of people putting Mute jammers over here and then playing, like, in the site. But if you have the Mute jammers, just sit here at the start. If anyone walks through, Amaru comes flying into the main window trying to rush Khan, and Ash walks up the stairs. Anyone comes through here without droning, and without droning efficiently, they're getting a shotgun to the face, and you're winning this every single time, okay? Unless they, like, surprisingly buck the wall out without even knowing you're here. Now, the only other options you get drone from Khan if they open the windows, or the master window if they open the window, or they come and like make a hole in this wall. Most people are just going to walk in and try to shoot this jammer, and you're just going to kill them. So it's a very, very simple and effective strategy with Mute that we'll show you in some of the gameplay later on. Now, the last thing is these single walls. So this is not a good wall to Mute off. Why is it not a good wall to Mute off once it's reinforced? Again, they can repel, they can thermite it. But if they can't repel it and it is a single wall, like this one on Cash, this is the perfect spot for a mute jammer, because the mute jammer will reach both sides of the wall, so they can't thermite the left or right, and they can't repel to open the top. Now their only option is going below to shoot the mute jammer, or acing the top, buying the top, and then nading over. So they really have to work together to clear this mute jammer. It's going to waste a lot of time, so this is another solid spot for a jammer. Really, it just comes down to a mute where you're putting the jammers and how effective they are at stopping information and slowing down the other team. That is mute's entire goal, and because he counters so many operators, it's very, very smart to just play on this jammer. The other thing you can do is, when you're sitting on it, a blitz comes through, it jams his shield. A lion call, you can swing off of it if they're pushing you. Same thing with a Dokubi call. You're not going to get spotted, so if you are on that roam, like that master side, the Dokubi call is not going to be effective, and they're still not going to know you're there. So it counters literally every source of info they can get on you, except for like 0 cams, which you should be able to hear and shoot if they're shooting it into the room that you're playing in. Now, if you're on that basement site, again, you want to kind of extend the bomb site, extend the information. If you're blue, and this is the basement bomb site, where can they drone from? Oil pit side and blue side. Okay, so let's go take a look at blue. Can we extend the map and hold a little more control? Well, if we put a mute jammer here, that's one way to do it. Why? They can't shoot this without repelling on this window. So, I believe. I'm not 100%. Yeah, they can't shoot this without repelling. So, they're not going to be able to shoot this mute jammer. You're able to play here close with the shotgun, right? Hold a close angle. And then when they swing into this angle because they're not able to drone it, or they peek to shoot the mute jammer, you're shotgunning them in the face. You're getting another free kill, and you're holding all this control at the same time. They go to hop in the blue window, shotgun to the face, exact same thing. They go to drop the hatch, you're killing them, right? So you're just playing off this info, and then, you know, let's say they call a Dokubi scan, and you hear them in stock or something, the call gets muted, you push up, and now you're killing them. So you want to make the plays when at the smart time, but at the same time, they'll probably just feed into you, and you'll get free kills, which again, you'll see later on. So enough yapping about mute. Let's get some actual examples in of what mute gameplay should look like when you're playing them, and I'll walk you through it as I'm doing it at the same time. All right, so here we are on border. We are on the Siege X build, which is nice, so we can get some of like the newer look. This video might age a little bit better since we are playing on the test server for Siege X. And if Siege X is out when you're watching this, how's it been? Are the cheaters bad? Are the cheaters good? Have you been enjoying it? If you played the test server and, you know, this video is relevant and recent, have you been enjoying it? I'm a personal big fan of the new ban system. Hopefully the mute doesn't get banned, but hey, that's fine. All right, we're on defense now. The only round we won, I actually hit a nasty Osa ace. So, you know, subscribe to stay tuned for that. That's probably going to be in another video. Who knows? Mute. So we're armory, we're border. Where are we going to put the mute jammers? Are we going to do it on main wall? No, because they can thermite the sides. They can get rid of it really easily. They can fuse it. There's just so many ways for them to get around it. But there's actually one way we can get around that. So we could mute the main wall. I'll show you how to do that. Or we could, like, extend to another area. We could hold CCTV with the mute jammers, which is probably better just for functionality. So, look, if you want to mute the main wall, you can. Do one right here on the doorway so they can't drone, and then do one right here to hold the entire wall. I'm not going to do that because I'm going to hold CC instead, because this map control is going to allow me to stop them from opening that main wall with horizontal play through these footholds here. And that's the beauty of the shotgun, is we can do this setup very, very nicely. Now, what about the actual jammers? Well, we could do one top metal. We don't want them droning into sight. This is going to be one that's, you know, just annoying. I mean, we could actually even tuck it around the doorway here. That way it'll stop them later in the round as well, but it'll get most of metal stairs. So if they try to drone at metal, that probably will get their drone. Not 100%, but probably. Now, we can stop this door drone with this mute jammer. That'll cover this. And then we can jam off this east window, you know, the east stairs. Stop them from being able to gather information over here. Slow down their push on this side of the map. Now, I have one more that I could put for this outer CC door. Should hop on cams, really, to see where they're at. I'll put the last one right here. So I can play on this mute jammer. It's going to stop Dokubi calls, blitz, if they try to push me. And then we kind of check the cams to go from there. So they are pushing this army side, which is good to know. You know, they can't drone me from behind. Really just have to watch this doorway and the window hopping behind me, which I should hear. So again, I'm just going to hold the pump, get ready for the swing, shotgun them if they peek me. I hear the guy outside. I could get aggressive on this right now, but there's one on the rappel, which thanks to that new Siege X audio I can hear. So I'm just going to keep holding this angle, sitting on the mute jammer. There's a freebie, right? They did not drone. That's a free kill. And now we can rotate. We can pick a new spot to play. Or we could even go back to site. That might be the safest option here. So I'm getting spotted, but now we're back in sight. I can barricade up the door again. Or not, apparently. But now this is my new spot I can play. And if I had that mute jammer here, now they can't drone me either. So I'll just keep holding this. I could play it even more passive off the Melusi, but I don't want him to see my laser sight. I'd recommend probably just taking the laser sight out if you are playing shotgun. Either that or you have to hide it. I can hold CC from these prone holes a little bit. Decides to walk around this corner, I'll shoot him. Lock him in metal. Might as well just keep the pump up, right? I can just hold with the pump. It's Grim. A mute jammer would be nice because then it actually also jams the bees, so he wouldn't be able to check me out with the bees either. It just sounds like he repelled an armory balk. I'll hold this quick. When I hear him close, I'm going to peek and shotgun him. And it's all going to be movement. I'm not going to have to flick around. Hear him close, hard breaching the wall. Good swing off that. Again, that mute jammer would probably help. At this point, I could back up, or I can just hold, right? I can just play off my clash. Getting out would be good. And now we just hold. He has to push in. He has to plant the bomb. So I can hold CC. Stop his rotate over here, right? Because my clash is this lockdown, I just have to make sure he doesn't come to the other direction. So already you can see the very first round, we're just getting free kills by sitting on a mute jammer and holding an angle with the shotgun. Mute just is so good at countering all these really, really strong operators, which is part of the reason why you want to use them for areas around site where people are actually playing instead of on reinforcements. People use mute jammers on reinforcements way too much. It is not necessary. It is much better to use them positionally to maintain map control and counter the attacking lineup. We're going to go back to mute. We're ventilation this time, and I'll show you what I like to do on ventilation if I'm playing mute. You can either go and hold an area with the mute jammers, like we could hold top armory, we could hold customs, or we can use them on site to work our way around site and maneuver site a lot easier for when they eventually do end up pushing the bomb site, because, you know, at some point they're going to push there. But if we know how they push, like let's say we're going back to armory, we know that they are taking, like, take CC side and they prefer that push. If we, let's say, didn't hold CC, that's what we could do the next round, is what we just did that round, knowing what we know now. This time we're just going to hold site. I'm going to place my mute jammers in all these different areas. They can't be shot. They are stopping the jammers from stopping the drones from getting information on that vent side. The only place drones can come from now is behind in workshop. So I have one more mute jammer. It's much less likely the drones come through here, but if they do, I could either drone this drone hole, which is good because I'm also getting a reinforcement, or I can put it here beside this door. Now, we'll probably have people playing customs or blue desk, so I'm going to elect to mute the drone hole, and then we can play in sight. We can play on these jammers in sight. This is a nice shield. We can play that if we want, or we can just sit here. They can't drone this drone hole. They can't drone from vent door, so if they decide to rush, I'm here sitting ready to kill them. I check the cams quick, see where they're at. I actually don't know where Frost just died from, but it doesn't seem like they're outside front door right now, and my window is castled. There's a nade on the drone hole, or sorry, on the castle, but it's not going to get the jammer, so they can technically drone through this window. Now I'm getting infused. I'm going to have to run. No, I am good. Use the opposite side. There goes the jammer. Now they can drone me out. And I'm worried about this fuse charge, so I might want to retake this window with a pump and get back into cover in sight, somewhere safe. I do have the C4 from below, so I can use my C4 for vertical play. So I'm still in a good spot as long as I just sit and stay alive. Now check the window as I cross back, get away from that fuse. Careful with the vertical play. Can hold this with the shotgun. All right, we're up close and personal here. It sounds like he's fusing again, so I'm going to C4 it. And now that they have all this vertical play, I got to get out. I got to pick a new spot where I'm not getting killed from. There's that fuse. Back up off that. Careful front door. Oh, the gas pipe almost got me, I think. Actually, how did I... Was that just one fuse shot? Taking this with the shotgun. Very effective. I'm going to switch guns. Back up. We do have that shield in sight. Luckily, I have a clash. And we are holding. The other hatch is open. That's unfortunate. But let's say we lose this round, we can go back here and now I can play armory. We know they do a vertical take. I can contest it with the mute jammers, make it very difficult for them to drone, and then probably win the round. I can't see us losing this round at this point unless this Frost really messes up, but this fuse is low. Close call, close call. So, they took vertically. We know they're a vertical taking team. We are going to be on a first floor site again with bathroom. So let's hold above. Let's bring the mute jammers upstairs. Stop them from being able to clear easily. They're going to have to face check the areas, and that's when they walk into a shotgun and they die. Mute. Mute, everybody. So good. So we're bathroom tellers. Let's go above. Let's use these mute jammers effectively. I'm going to bring one jammer on site because there's only 2 ways they can get drones into the site. It's this drone hole and the site window if they are going direct. And this mute jammer is going to be so effective at stopping them from getting information on site. Make the rotates for the team. I think I just took an impact at the head, but that's all right. And then we are going to go upstairs to finish our setup. We only have 25 seconds, so we want to make sure we get our jammers down, get up there, and the rest of the site setup will leave it to the team. So I'm going to head above, directly above the site. We're going to reinforce the hatch at some point, hopefully. We might actually use it to drop back. This one will just stop them from droning in the window. They'll have to throw the drone in, so that'll waste a little bit of time. I like this one on the archives door, because this is a corner we can sit in safely. Sit here, wait for the drone to come through. As it gets jammed, we can play aggressive. But we can also play armory off the start if we'd like, and then drop back through the small hatch. So I'm going to put a mute jammer here. If I have the extra time, I could even reinforce these walls. So it's even more likely for them to feed in through this doorway. So this is going to help me get back if I need to. Thanks to the shotgun, we can open it. Now we'll see where they're actually at. Nothing outside the archives, which is good information. And it looks like not too much outside of the bomb site. So we might actually be able to use this hatch for our advantage, but our castle did open it. So we're going to have to contest east stairs now. So it looks like they're coming east. But we can still hold top control from here. Now the shotgun does work on this range, but it's a little risky. I'm going to try to get even closer since that door behind me is castled. Then I can swing close when I hear him close. I don't want to be overly aggressive because there is a few of them here right now, it sounds like. There's that ash charge. Oh, he's prone on the ground. A little scary. We're going to pull out the SMG because I don't know which side they're going to come from. And the shotgun's not going to be one shot at this range. So I'm behind this corner. He knows I'm there. He hit me with the free fire. I lost the fight. That's fine. So the mute jammers we set up, you know, we're trying to predict where they're coming from. They just happen to come from east stairs. So knowing this, if we have to go tellers again, I can contest east stairs the same way I did in the first round by holding CC with the mute jammers. That way, when they do push from there, I can contest and kill them. With that being said, because we know we're not coming this way, we can focus all our attention on that east stairs push. Unfortunately, it just had more manpower than we can handle, and that's just part of the game. That's part of Rainbow Six Siege. You just have to do your best to adapt. We're 10-4 at the moment, and we have, you know, we still wasted some time. We got a kill. You know, it wasn't a horrible roam. It just wasn't enough to single-handedly win the round, which is what we are attempting to go for so that we can carry our team, so that we can win more even with randoms on our team. If we can go vent again, I am going to hold vertically now. So they took Armory Archives last time. We are going to contest it with the mute. So I'm going to try my best to hold up there, waste time, stop them from being able to just take vertical control and add so much pressure so fast to the bomb site. Because realistically, if they played their vertical better that last round, they could have killed us a lot easier and actually won it. They just rushed and were a little sloppy after they took vertical control. So I'm going to contest it early, use vertical control to our advantage for if they don't take it. So not only am I holding above, but I can hold the bomb site from above because I have that shotgun and I can use it so effectively. So I'm going to jam off top metal. This jammer is going to stop them from droning in from here, right? Then I'm going to jam off archives door. A lot of people like to drone in from this door. I'm going to jam that off. If they want to get rid of this jammer, they have to go to the window, which is fine. You know, if they go to the window, they go to the window. I'm going to reinforce this off just for if they do go to that doorway to make the long angles. I don't want them to be able to do that. And then I can add a second jammer here just to completely contest this too. Now, I could use my jammers on the army wall. I might actually pick one up and do that just so they're not able to apply direct pressure and they do have to feed into the doorway. So this is the jammers I was talking about that first defense round. So we'll do one here. You can see it gets all the way over so Thermite can't get it. And the next one will cover this. So I'm going to pick this jammer up actually. Do have to be aware of the drones being able to come through here. I'm going to guess that they're coming to this armory wall instead. And now that that's there, I can just play the shotgun aggressively on the doorway. And it looks like they are not coming armory side. Might be coming BC. Drone east stairs. Just still trying to figure out where exactly they are going to elect to push from. We have this vert control as well, so we can hold CC window. There's the Grimbees. We can hold the site from here if we need to, but because they're pushing above, I'm going to try to get back across and hold this side. Can even hold this site door from here. A lot of options when it comes to setting this up. I'm going to make a rotate here so I can get through without having to cross that doorway if I need to context archives. You can see I can even make a little angle here to hold this push. And there it is. Easy freebie. Walked right into it. And because I have that shotgun, I can do these on-the-fly plays, like making this rotate. Now, I do have to watch the metal walk-in. Another one, archives. I'm going to try to take the pressure off archives so we can actually hold this. You have to be careful of 90.
I'm watching your 90. There's one right here. Ping, one ping. Shit.
This vertical play is going to be pretty effective here.
One's in bathroom right now. About to go
I got sight window. I got sight window. You know where Nomad is?
Last one bathroom. Last one bathroom.
Okay, I'll make a hole above. So this information is going to be good. There's a hole in front of it. Where's the rotate at?
It's right next to the side. Like the...
I got it, yep.
The breach.
I got bathroom rotate. So that vertical play on the fly, he can now not walk into sight from this rotate. If I call that I'm holding this, my teammates just have to watch the other door. And we are chilling. I can also make vert for the other door if I have to, but I'm just going to hold this. I'm going to keep holding this in case he decides to cross back. Customs now, so move to the other doorway. Not sure where this information is coming from, but we are going to trust our team, which is, you know, a risky move, but we have the vert and we can win the round. He does have to plant the bomb. That is the biggest thing, is this guy eventually has to plant. I got your bathroom rotate, so if you hold that door, Clash, just let him know where I'm at, what I'm holding, and we are good. Absolutely locked down. That is how you play mute, guys. So effective, completely countering their push. Do it like that, and you'll be seeing your glory days in no time. We'll see you on the next one, boys.